Welcome to the 13 Comics of Halloween.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of 13 Comics of Halloween. This one,
Actually, this one we should go, ow.
Yeah, ow. This one is, I wouldn't call it a horror comic at all. We kind of picked it just because it seemed like, I mean, it's got werewolves in it. It's more like, you have the Howling movie, and then you have, what's the Michael J. Fox movie where he becomes
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf. So, it's like those are both have werewolves, but one of them is scary and one of them is not. Like
Yes.
American Werewolf in London, or Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf. Yeah, I know. I was like, I can't think of another.
Wolf Cop. Okay. But yeah, this one is it's
Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2. And this one is actually from Captain America, issue 405. So this is from the 90s, and
So
apparently they were trying to come up with some stuff to just put on a page, because this is in the middle of a story arc called Of Man and Wolf. And on the cover, we have Captain America in his Captain America garb with shield high, but his head is that of a werewolf in shadows. And then it looks like his head is missing and the wolf is slightly off because the art is terrible for this. So
Yes.
It doesn't quite look like his head belongs. It looks like the wolf is behind him and has possibly removed Captain America's head. But yeah, and then it just says Cap Wolf.
Cap Wolf.
So we know it's a good issue, and this is kind of like on a cover. This is one of those ones that people just find to have in their collection.
Honestly, yeah, this is one of the comics that makes me go, you know how everybody's like, oh, they keep rehashing the same stories and everybody comes up with the original ideas anymore? It's because these are the original ideas that come out and you're like, what the fuck is this? Sometimes. Not all the time, but this is bad.
This is them stretching. So anyway, we are, like I said, issue 4 into a series. We have not read the other one. So
Yep.
we're jumping into this just like you guys are. So Captain America is tied to a table and he is getting injected by Dr. Nightshade, a African-American woman with giant, what are those called? Shoulder pads?
Shoulder pad things. They kind of made me think of who's that?
World of Warcraft. That's what they made me think of. But
Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister, a little bit, but they have spikes on them and stuff. But her costume is crazy. And apparently she is Dr. Nightshade, and she has come up with some kind of werewolf serum where she's saying, Captain, get ready to howl. And she's injecting him. And somehow they have him tied down. I don't know how they got him tied down. We don't care about that in this issue. But she injects him, and right away, he wolfs out. We get some awesome wolf transformation, and we see this issue is called Dances with Werewolves, which makes me think the writer of this thought it was as dumb as it is too. So he's like having fun with it a bit. But yeah, like we said, Cap wolfs out right away, and automatically Dr. Nightshade is like, he's out of control. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
I assumed it was because it was going to be like being able to control werewolf kind of thing.
I don't know. But he tears through it. He tears through all the straps and everything, and then right away we hear his inner dialogue, which has changed from human Steve Rogers dialogue to dog dialogue. So, John, would you like to give us how that sounds?
Yeah, so the Cap's inner thoughts are pretty great. He breaks down. He's like, must get out of here. Must run. Must find shield. Oh, shield mine. Shield shiny
thing.
Yeah. Must get out. Must run.
He talks like a dog, even less than a dog, because like Homeward Bound has dogs that talk better than him. So
it's almost like like meme talk, like dog.
Yeah,
dog.
We like food.
Dog
food
does
here.
good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a meme talk for dogs, which is very, very insulting of a Cap dog.
Cap has shield.
Yeah,
Capkin has shield.
Exactly. So right away he's trying to get out of this place. He bursts through the door. He runs out of there, jumps away, and it's funny because there's Dr. Nightshade in the lab, and there's a dude in a purple robe called Dresmond, I believe, and they're the ones who came up with this plan to turn Captain America into werewolves. And so he bursts through the door out into this like courtyard, and Dresmond runs up and goes, "What are you doing, people? Grab him!" And he's like, they're like, what are you talking about? Why would we grab him? We're not werewolves. Actually, they say wolfen.
Yeah, wolfen.
Like it's some kind of
Germantown or something.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's
wolfen.
Like, well, then I'll make you wolfen. And he like turns them all into wolves. So now,
without a serum.
Yeah, without a serum, with just magic. So I don't get it, but he can turn them into wolves. And so and then he's like, now my pretties chase him. And so like now the wolves that were people are chasing Captain America. And he's like, Woods, run free. Need to run. You know, like he talks more like a robot. Like, what are you doing, Dave? Like, you know, like he just talks ridiculously. So then we cut to people we don't know in the middle of Central Park. There's Jarvis, who I guess is the Avengers butler, that we know from like the Iron Man movies. And then there's some lady whose name Mrs. Rosenthal. Is that supposed to be Kitty Pryde?
I thought she was blind at first, but I just realized there's sunglasses. But yeah, I think it's Kitty Pryde.
Okay, yeah. And then you said this dude, she's with a big guy. I don't even know who he is.
His name is Dennis.
John looked him up, I guess, or knew who he was. His name is Dennis, she's calling him, but apparently it's the superhero or robot, maybe? Danger Man?
He's a human, Danger Man. He got injected with like some kind of not super soldier, but like some kind of serum, and like he's like stronger than a lot of humans, so like he would be in sports and he could like outdo anybody in sports.
Right, but he's not quite a super level.
Not quite, yeah. Like
that seems stupid.
Yeah, I remember looking him up, and he's got that stupid costume that's like a cross between Daredevil and Wolverine, where it's like red and yellow, and it's got a big D on the chest, but then he's got Wolverine kind of like.
All right,
it's stupid.
Okay, so
it's one of those
90s
character. You're like, all right.
So anyway, Rosenthal is trying to hit on him, and she's like, "So you were a wrestler? Like, who'd you fight? I used to watch wrestling in college." And then some guy runs up and steals her purse, and she's like, "Come on, help me! Chase him, you big dummy!" And he's just like, "What?" Like he's just staring off into the distance, which is why I thought he was a robot. And so, but apparently he's a human. I don't know. He's just a dumb motherfucker. And so. Then we cut to somewhere called Starksboro, and I don't know where this is. We've never seen this guy in the comic yet, but his name is Dr. What was it? Dr. Druid. That's what
Dr. Druid.
Dr. Druid. He is looking for this place, in this place. It's some sort of church of a werewolf. It's got all this werewolf memorabilia. He's looking around in the back area. He sees like the Vitruvian Man, but it's half wolf, half man. He's like, this is crazy. Like, I must find... This place has more werewolf artifacts than I have in my building. And he sees this rock floating. He's like, what a mysterious red rock or whatever.
Red crystal.
He's like, I must have it. And he's like trying to get it out of the thing. And then all of a sudden, like the hat flies by him, the mask. And we see the guy who I assume is Dresmond from the... Nightshade, from the beginning, who turned all the people into werewolves. He now puts on his big helmet that has like cow's horns and shit. It's really stupid looking. And he's like, "You do not belong here, Dr. Druid. I am Dreadman, and we will fight." And so when they say we will fight,
they lock eyes.
All they do is stare at each other real hard. No fighting. It's kind of like Scanners, but less cool, where they're just locking eyes and staring. And beams come out, but I think that's just a visual for what we're supposed to be seeing.
Okay, that's what I was like. I couldn't tell if it was actual beams or if it was just like...
because they show their eyes separately, and there's no beams coming out of them. They're just staring at each other with red eyes. But then when we're looking at them on a single panel staring at each other, there's beams coming out. So I think it's like to insinuate, they're like in each other's minds, and you know, one of them will win eventually, staring
who is stronger.
Yes, one of them's going to fart.
Who is more mad.
Yeah, break the tension. So then we see, I was going to say Wolverine, but Cap Wolf is still hiding. He's like, what's going on? These wolves must stop chasing me. And then like, he's like, I am not hunter, or I am not hunted. I am the hunter. And like, you know, he's like trying to be like, no, I'm Cap Wolf. I should be better. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Wolverine attacks him, and we're like, "Oh, it's Wolverine!"
It's Wolverine,
and he's like, "Oh, I know, man with claws, Claw Man, good."
Claw Man.
And then, but Wolverine starts attacking him and actually like scratches him with his claws. So
yeah, I love Cap's like maybe he like animal, maybe he understand me, and he like goes. Because Cap can't get words out. These are all internal dialogue. So Cap starts talking. He's like, and Wolverine is not phased. Not phased by it at all. He's like, oh, I guess he doesn't understand me.
Yeah. So Wolverine, he's got white eyes. So we're assuming he's kind of like brainwashed or something, probably by Dresmond. For some reason, even though he has nothing to do with werewolves or anything in his powers, he can be controlled as well, apparently. So he's fighting Cap Wolf, and there's some great like scenes where like Wolverine scratches him, and it looks like the dog of Cap is like, he looks like a golden retriever. He doesn't look like a wolf. He looks like Cap golden retriever. And so, but his face is like he's got some really bad art in this. But Cap Wolf is like, stop hitting me, heartbeat pulsing, and then he like scratches Wolverine's eyes, which shouldn't matter because he can heal right away, but apparently it blinds him enough so that he can throw him into the rest of the wolves, and then he is able to get out of there. And then we cut back to it says elsewhere, but we know where they were standing in that room, and we got Dresman and Dr. Druid, and they're
still staring
at each other very lovingly. They're hard guys, buff guys, staring at each other in you know, skin tight costumes. Nothing weird about that. And then this issue literally goes weirder and weirder as you go. So then
back in the park.
Back in the park, Miss Rosenthal's like, I gotta find that thief. I can't believe Dennis or Mr. Danger Man or whatever didn't help me. And then she's like, I'm gonna call someone at the mansion or whatever. So she's like calling people. And then we cut back to, I guess we really needed to find out what happened with her because there's nothing about this that's interesting.
It was super important.
Yeah, and so and then we cut back to, it says Massachusetts. So I don't know if we were in Massachusetts before, but now Cap Wolf is running in Massachusetts. It might be 10 states from there. It might have been 1 hour, 1 day, 1 minute. We don't know. And we see he's getting chased by someone who looks like it's Lobo, I thought at first, but it's not. It's someone named Moon Hunter.
Moon Hunter, yeah.
Moon Hunter.
I guess it was. Marvel's attempted at Lobo.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're like, Lobo was fucking awesome. So let's give
in the 90s, especially. Yeah,
let's give this space person who looks a lot like Lobo a space bike like Lobo, and has, you know, black and leather, and it's obviously Lobo, but not Lobo. I was very confused because I'm like, this is Marvel. Why is Lobo in this book? And then he said, I'm Moon Hunter, I'm gonna get ya, or he had like this weird like, hey, who the fuck is this, huh? Like he had like a weird accent from like New England. So I guess that's how they talk on the moon. We never see this person's face either, though. We just you know, basically it wraps a lasso around
Silver. That's
is that what it is?
Yeah, that's how he's able to get him a little bit. It's a silver lasso.
Oh, okay. I missed
silver
that.
Chain. No.
You believe it or not, John, I was not paying the hardest attention to the dialogue of this. But yeah, I guess where Cap says to himself as the rope goes around his neck, a silver rope, silver face on machine, not let him choke me or what. Like, I don't know. I guess they just said he's got silver all over him.
Either way, it doesn't matter much because he ends up pulling the moon guy off of the bike.
Off of the bike, and then just dragging him on the street because apparently the moon guy is not strong enough to pull him or anything. So even with the bike.
No, I think that the only thing that I was like, okay, maybe is because Dr. Nightshade was like, I guess we didn't anticipate like the super soldier serum interacting with the werewolf serum or whatever.
But you should have, because it's Captain America, you dumb fucks.
Yeah.
What kind of scientists are you? Anyway, we cut back to Dresman's lair. They keep saying different like place names for where they're at. Instead of saying every time Dresman's lair, they're like a house in Massachusetts. Or like, you know, they'll say like weird things instead of just saying where they've been for the last fucking hour. So they're still staring at each other, and then all of a sudden Dr. Druid's like, oh, that's a cool artifact over there. He's like looking around the room. He's like, well, that's a cool Chinese dragon. And all of a sudden he's like, no, I'm distracted. And then fucking Dresman's like, ha, your eyes fail you or whatever. Like your attention span is weak. And he like is able to knock him out, and he is vanquished.
Ah, my ADHD foils me again.
Yes. And then so Cap Wolf drags what's his name? Moon Hunter back into the city from where he came from.
Yeah, he makes full circle and goes all the way back to where he started, apparently.
Yeah, and then it goes back to where Nightshade is.
Dr. Nightshade like sees him, and she's like, hey Cap, are you looking for me? Which is weird because no, he was just running away from you.
It'd be more if she had a dog whistle. And just like, ooh, yeah. And then he's like, oh, must go now. Time to eat. Or something. I don't know. But yeah, he comes back and then it says continued in 2 weeks. That's it. That is Cap Wolf.
That is
the weirdest
Capwolf.
Dumbest issue of a comic I've read in a long time.
I have no interest in reading what happened before.
You don't want to do 1 through 6, John?
What happens after this?
We should do that for April Fool's Day, or like one of those, that whole. I was trying to think of a holiday that's like Trick Day or whatever, but yeah, it'd be like Dumb Day, whatever day that is.
Just read some of the
on the election day. We'll read that. So yeah, but anyway, it wasn't spooky at all. For it's just trying to show like Cap being turned into a werewolf. It wasn't very scary, but. On that, what would you give this one, John? Or did you have any other thoughts you wanted to say before you rate it?
No, I like the cover is misleading because the cover makes it look like he'll be cooler, and then he, like you said, like some panels he looks a little werewolfish, some panels he looks like golden retriever Cap, animal person.
It's Air Cap.
So, so yeah,
Captain America Bud. I don't know. That needs to be an Air Bud movie.
I like it. Air Bud and Marvel crossover.
Yes,
let's do it. Man, obviously we don't know the whole story.
I'll say the art was serviceable for like the story that was being told.
The fighting with Wolverine was cool. Like
yeah,
some of those
I mean, even though the like we said, the retriever face with the wolf face went in and out, but the art itself was like, oh, I knew what was going on. It was about as serviceable as the story was.
Yeah.
It's actually I'd say it was a little bit better than the story. So, yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3, okay.
Like, I mean, it was all right. I'm glad I finally got to see Capwolf. Like,
you finally did it.
Finally did it. I'm good.
I will say this, because it is the single issue, it's gonna get higher than it would if it was the story arc, because I know I would have fallen asleep reading this whole 6-issue story arc or whatever.
I mean, just alone, the Dresmond and Dr. Druid.
What do you mean, that awesome battle where they stared at each other?
That was amazing.
Across pages.
Look into my eyes.
Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, I mean, I will say this. As a one issue, it's a fun read because you're like, this is fucking ridiculous. Now, if you had to read this whole story arc, I'd be like, this is terrible and, whatever. So, the fun aspect, it's kind of like watching a bad movie, but if you had to watch a bad trilogy or something, like it would get bad real fast, like, or just unwatchable.
Like the Hobbit movies.
No, I mean, like those are just movies, but like if you had to watch 10 of the rooms or something, like, or, know what I'm saying? Like the first room was great, but then, we kind of get it after that one. So, yeah, this one, I'm going to give it a 3 as well, because I thought it was fun to read. But it probably deserves like a 2 or a 1 even as far as the series goes. But pick that one issue up for fun on Comixology, or if you find it in your back issue bin, because it is an iconic cover that is a good conversation starter. I would say put it on a wall. Like that's a good one to frame and put on a wall, and people go, "What the fuck is that?"
You've never seen
Capwolf? And then you get to have a big conversation about Captain America being a werewolf and how silly it was in the 90s, and it's a fun little conversation starter. There's that one, and there's also one of Conan. It's like a what if. And it's Conan the Barbarian with his like little horned hat, and he's got a dirty, hairy 44 Magnum, and he's pointing it on the cover.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
At you, the reader, and it looks fucking awesome.
Some of the, I have to say, of Marvel's
what ifs.
like what ifs, some of the what ifs are quite clever. Sometimes they're dumb. But
we might have to do a little what if marathon sometime.
That could be fun. We could do and sometime like
just pick 5 or 6 or less or whatever, however long we want, and just do like a couple ones that's like we'll just look at the covers and pick which ones
from the cover.
Yeah, just pick from the cover. But for sure we got to do that Conan one. So
I'm down.
Anyway, this episode has gone way too long for this issue. We will see you guys next time. I think we only have 3 more after this. So thank you for listening. And if you guys are enjoying it, let us know at Planes, Trains, and Comic Books, all one word, at gmail.com.
Or definitely leave us a comment and let us know what your favorite ones have been so far.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next spooky one.
See ya.